back to another episode of Turnpike Mike's podcast. Please subscribe, leave a comment. If you guys have any topics you want us to hit, let us know in the comments. I have Spencer with me. Spencer, how you doing?
I'm doing all right, man. It's great to be back on.
And I have my boy Andrew with me. Andrew, how you doing?
Let me just make sure you get that in the picture there for the Arsenal
Yeah.
fans. Sorry,
Yep. Yep.
that's how I'm feeling, unfortunately.
Yeah. So for those who didn't tune in last week, the loser of the North London Derby had to put a background of the other team. So as you can see, taking fat L's over there.
Getting dunked on.
Hey, he did it again today. We'll talk about that more later. But I want to start with you, Spencer. Obviously, with that 1-0 defeat against Forest, you guys turned around, beat AC Milan 3-1, and then on Saturday beat the Cherries 3-0. What are some of the takeaways that you saw with the performances?
Yeah, I think it was really good to get 3 points away to AC Milan. It was a good confidence booster. Gakpo played really well, so that gets him in the flow of things. Hasn't got too many minutes to start the season, so I'd like to see a little more. It's good that he got his goal, or he played well against AC Milan, and then Darwin Nunez got a goal today or yesterday against Bournemouth. So it's good to see that we're getting everybody firing. Obviously, Luis Diaz and Salah have been on fire, scoring goals, assisting. It seems like Luis Diaz took like the Gordon links and like the talk of potentially selling him to Barcelona. He's taken that really personally. He's been super clinical. In the first game when he was on the breakaway and scored, I had zero faith he was going to score, and he buried it. And he's been shutting me up the entire season. It's been really good to see. I wish the plan B against Forest was better. We didn't really have a plan B. We kind of, just took off all our defenders, and they were in immediately. They almost made it 2-0. So I would like to see a better plan B going forward in games that we do go down. We almost went down early against Bournemouth, got saved by, a lucky offside. So we'll see how we progress through this congested fixture. We're gonna have to rotate. That's my one big negative from these last two games, because obviously 3 points in the league, 3 points in the Champions League, those are good results. But Gravenberch and McAllister played damn near every minute, if not every minute. Tyler Morton's not making the bench. Trey Neoni's not making the bench. We play West Ham in the Cup. They haven't had any minutes, so that doesn't give me any faith that he's going to rotate the squad against West Ham in the Cup. I think we're going to play the full strength squad, and they're going to play all 90 minutes. Curtis Jones was the only midfielder on the bench, and he came in for Szoboszlai, who I think has been one of our worst performers so far this season. So I want to get Harvey Elliott fit as fast as possible. I need Trey Neoni to get some minutes. I need Tyler Morton to get some minutes, because as good as Gravenberch has been, and he's been arguably our best player, he can't play every second of every game. McAllister can't play every second of every game. It's a long season. So hopefully in this next couple games where we're super congested, we can get everybody in there and get some game time minutes for some of the rotation guys.
Yeah, no, I like that you said that. I feel like as an Arsenal fan, me and you have totally different worries as to where our back line, I feel like, is our strongest suit right now. And I feel like with yourself, your offense is something that, as an Arsenal fan, I get jealous at times. I'm like, I wish we could, score 3-4 goals every week. And we're getting our goals right now from our defenders. Do you have enough defenders to, make a good run? I know that you guys only have about like 2 or 3 center backs, if I'm not mistaken, for depth.
Yeah, center back is pretty light. We still have Nat Phillips at the club, who could do a job in an emergency. I'm not saying that I want him to get minutes, but having 3 really first team center backs in
Yeah.
Kwanzaa, Kanate, and Virgil is a little worrying. I would love to see somebody from the academy maybe step up, or if we can make some sort of cheap, shrewd signing in January, that would be great too. I think as far as like the whole back line is concerned, they're playing a lot better, conceding less chances, obviously, than last year. There's still a little holes. Bournemouth, a better team than Bournemouth, would have scored against us yesterday. So, Virgil has been unreal,
Yeah.
and they're scoring goals too. We got in on the old corner action against AC Milan with two dunks from Van Dijk and Kanate. So as long as they can stay fit, Kanate's been made of glass. I know he will get injured at one point, so Kwanzaa has to be ready. I think he's a huge talent, so I'm not necessarily worried about him playing, but I am worried if 2 of the 3 go down for sure.
Yeah, and then before I move on to Andrew, I wanted to ask you, since I haven't spoken to you, do you guys have enough to win a title or compete for the Champions League?
I think so. It's just that like when you lose early at home to Forest, like it puts so much pressure on other games down the line, like away to City. You look at that fixture at the beginning of the year, like I'll take a point away to City. You look at away to Arsenal, you're like, I'll take a point. Now we have to win one or both of those games. I mean, you always go into the game wanting to win, needing to win. But you know, when you look at the schedule at the beginning of the season, you're like, I'll take a point in those games.
Yeah,
Now we have to win that because we lost a game that we should have had 3 points in. And I think similar to a Klopp Liverpool team, I think on any given day we can beat any team in the world. Like I watched Man City today, and as good as they've been, as good as Holland has been, they look vulnerable. They couldn't beat Arsenal with 10 men at home. I just think that we could win that game. Like we can win away to City, but it's just these games against smaller clubs where we switch off a little bit. We don't get start hot enough, and we get behind the 8 ball a little bit. So hopefully we can bounce back from that Forest game and keep winning. Keep winning against the teams that we should win against, and sneak 3 points. At the Etihad or at the Emirates would be great. So I think we can. It's just a matter of staying consistent against the smaller clubs.
yeah. Andrew, I saw you nod your head. Do you disagree with that sentiment? Do you think that they don't have enough, or do you think that City isn't
No, I mean,
vulnerable?
it's just one of those things that, I mean, there was no Rodri as well. Let's see how long he's out for. You know what I mean? They need Kevin back. I mean, I get that it was a win today, or sorry, a draw today, but it felt like a win for them. Like they reacted like it was a win, even though they should have taken 3 points. Argument for later, I guess. But I don't know. Like to say that City's going to win the league right now might be a little, you know, too early for that. Definitely too early for that. I mean,
But
Bullets
is it
look good.
yeah, is it warranted though? I mean, obviously we just talked about four in a row.
Yeah, but
Um,
they,
you know,
you guys aren't the best right now. You know what I mean? You guys don't have your top players. So maybe next time it's different and Arsenal takes three away. You never know this league. Just because they look good now doesn't mean they're going to have some speed bumps down the road and you guys might just catch right back up. I mean,
yeah.
Pool
They're
also
always good
hasn't,
for a
you
shock
know,
result, I feel like they'll lose
what I mean?
randomly to Wolves or, Brighton maybe. Not that Brighton would be a shock result, but you know what I'm saying? They
Yeah.
always
I
they
mean,
show up for
still,
big games and then just like Liverpool will like sleep a little against a smaller club and shock result. They look incredible. I think their aim is definitely invincible, probably why they celebrated the way that they did today, but um I think that they're due for a loss at some point. So many competitions, they're gonna go far in the cups, they're gonna go far in Champions League. Like they're gonna drop off at one point, if only for a game or two.
Yeah, injuries and like you said, I mean, just I feel like every big club deals with this where they switch off. We take an opponent lightly, and they end up with a result because to them that's their Super Bowl, right? But yeah, no, honestly, I agree with you guys. Let me ask you a question, Andrew. Similar to Spencer, obviously we all know the 1-0 defeat that you took. um, but you beat Coventry, very last minute, 2 goals, 88 minute and 90 minute, yeah, plus stoppage time. And then you turned around and won 3-1 to Brentford this weekend. Talk to me about that. Have you seen any improvement? Is there, areas of improvement, or are you happy with what you're seeing at the moment?
it's tough. I think we've learned our Tottenham lesson this week and just taking it one game at a time and just realizing that as long as they play the same way every single game, eventually we will start to turn and start to get used to playing the way we are. Yes, we've done it last year, but a lot of key injuries, coming up, last year for us right now. Like Madison was already hurt. Like the man played not many games, got hurt, then came back and played a little bit and got hurt again. So like we will see if we can stay together and healthy, because going to Northland and Derby, pressing, doing what they needed to do, and allowing set pieces to control the game is just not what we need to be doing. It's hurt us too many times in the past, and now here we are again. Coventry was I knew it was going to be a tough game. I mean, they're a tough opponent this year, not looking the best in the league, but we seen it. Like they
They
came
were
out
in Cup semifinal last year,
last
promotion
year.
semifinal.
They,
So
I did fact check though. They got rid of their coach. They got rid of their coach. They don't have a different coach, and they were like 14th or something like that. They only had one win in the league. Anyway, they were tough, very tough opponent. We
do you
got
like the way that your team bounced back after an early goal to
well, but we just
Brentford?
played the same ball. We played the same ball. Like even in
Does
the
it change
coverages.
your tactics after going
Well,
down?
well, the thing is like you're looking for a quick response, and they literally like were immediately attacking. So it felt like nothing changed. It felt like it was just, oh, it was a 0-0 game and we're just playing. Like it didn't feel like we just gave up a goal. Yeah, us fans were like, what the hell? We were just in total meltdown. Uh, because it's just classic Spurs, is giving up a goal in 23 seconds, 26 seconds. But that's
Very interesting.
crazy.
Brentford scored in the 22nd or 23rd second in
Yeah.
back-to-back games. Has to be some
No
sort of
way.
crazy
Oh,
Opta
I didn't
record.
think about that.
Yeah.
That's crazy. That is crazy. But yeah, obviously just brilliant. I mean, just going back and getting 2 goals in the first and then getting the 1-1 at halftime. No, 2-1. Sorry, two
What do you
one and
think
then
of
3-1. Yeah.
Brian and
Yeah.
Bumo, Andrew?
What a
No, like
brilliant hit.
seriously though, I
What a
was
brilliant
thinking
hit.
about
No,
this.
I
I
mean,
think
yeah,
it
he's
could be a
good.
breakout year for him, and like
I think
I'm
so.
trying to think of big clubs in the
Breakout. He's
Premier
been
League he could
good.
go to, and I really think Tottenham would be a good fit for him. Plays off the right, he's left-footed. I know you've got Brendan Johnson, but there's question marks over him. Like, how would you if he has like a 20 goal contribution season and Tottenham went in for him? How would you feel?
Well, if Ange says yes, then I'm behind it. I don't think he's really brought in a player that's like yeah, there's stiff on Brennan, but like he plays exactly what Ange wants. He wants someone to sprint and cross the ball in, going on sprint. So I think to have someone different on the right wing would maybe give Ange something to think about, but because he's a little bit more of a dribbler in that ball, he likes to get the ball and go with it. You know what I mean? Where that's kind of like Hulu, and that's why we brought him in the middle next to Madison because he kind of dribbles a lot better. So we would see what position he would want to be in because that's why we were looking at Eze. We needed someone next to Madison to
Yeah.
do that kind of transition.
Are I've been peeping the Brendan Johnson stuff and how he deleted his social media, he was getting
Yeah.
harassed. Do you as a Spurs fan, what do you see?
Well, I see a system player playing the system. I mean, he's literally just doing what Ange is telling him. So it is kind of tough. Now, yeah, he should probably be scoring more goals. He's definitely had plenty of opportunity to score more goals, and he is
Nelly.
just not taking it. So, but his passing is like when he gets in there, yeah, he's just crossing it, and yeah, most likely going to a defender. But again, it's a system. That's what Ange wants. He wants down and in. So I don't know. I don't think it should be that much hate, but
Okay.
what can I control?
Fan bases are always going to be reactionary
Yeah,
and
100%.
toxic. The loudest fans are usually the most toxic fans. So
Oh no, my friend, the fan base that doesn't win any trophies are usually the loudest fan base because we have nothing to say but everything to say it with.
And today's day and age, right? Like there's players that choked in the 80s that like we don't even see that. We don't highlight it. But if you just happen to miss a goal or an easy chance, it's going to be on Bleacher Report, House of Highlights. It's going to be on ESPN, like
In your
be on everything.
DMs.
So it's just a different era where these players literally are being watched at such
the
a high.
microscope is crazy
Well,
on and off the field.
100%.
Now, end your question that you were asking me is he's had a brilliant week now. 2 games, 2 goals. Both of those goals have been the deciding ones. Both of them were the second goals in both games. And, we went on to win 2-1 and 3-1. So technically, he had 2 game-winning goals this week.
Yeah.
So,
and yeah, that'll help fans forget like whatever
well,
yes they were giving them. Yeah, that'll help.
we'll
Yeah.
see.
Man, guys. 2-2. Arsenal 2-2. I mean, I know I'm blown. As an Arsenal fan, I was watching that game. As soon as I saw Trossard get a red card, well, the second yellow, which obviously red card, my heart dropped. I was worried from the start. and I honestly thought we were gonna lose 3-2. So like someone said in the group chat, being able to hold them for 50 minutes without a goal. Raya played out of his mind, and I think no one's really questioning that signing now. As to where a year ago, you had a lot of question marks as to why are you going to sign another, goalkeeper when you have Ramsdale. But today just shows you that he never switched off. Unfortunately, he just happened to jump the wrong way, and then they ended up scoring with the almost, I guess, the last possible chance. They ended up scoring a goal, and it just blows because I feel like we had City on the ropes, even with 10 men. I feel like we could have nicked obviously all 3 points. We end up with the draw. A lot of fans are happy with the draw. Honestly, before the game, I might have been happy with the draw, but seeing that we had a 2-1 lead with virtually no time left, it hurt my heart. But speaking of that, obviously this is the second time this season that we have a red card given to one of our players for something that other players I feel like aren't being carded for. Do you guys think? I mean, obviously, Andrew's going to say that Arsenal's not being targeted. Arsenal's not. But do you think, they say there's a stat where Michael Oliver's been, has given Arsenal players 7 red cards more than any other Premier League team. What do you guys think? Like, do you guys think this is like getting targeted now? Is it Arteta? Is it something that way we carry ourselves? Because maybe he deserved a red, right? But Doku did something very similar and got no card, right? Pedro did that against Brighton. He ended up kicking the ball, didn't get no card. Rice did it. He got kicked out the game. So I just think that inconsistencies is what Arsenal fans are crying about.
Because Man City has a lot of money and they want City to win. I mean, we kind of got the same treatment for sure year after year. Remember the handball against Everton when we lost the league by like 1 point. I don't know that. I don't want to go full tinfoil hat conspiracy, but like all these refs from Manchester, refs doing games like friendly games in the UAE and stuff like that, like they're on the take. It's pretty sad to see. And you have every right to feel hard done by the refs. And I don't know if it's necessarily anti-Arsenal or anti-Liverpool. I think it's just pro-Manchester. I think there's too many refs from Manchester. And, when you've got long money the way that Man City does, like, their reach, the 115 charges, who knows what else they're doing to cheat. Like if they're willing to do all these workarounds and sign all these players and do stuff behind the scenes to make their books look good, what else are they willing to do to win to keep winning?
Andrew?
I'm very impartial because, I felt a lot of, hard done bys. The officiating is just, I think Spencer is very much onto something. Now, we talk about it a lot. Like they're definitely something fishy in the waters, and that's why the VAR is so the way it is. I mean, it's blatant, but there was some bad officiating. Bad officiating today. I mean, as a neutral,
both ways.
yes,
I mean, there was a foul for the Calafiori goal, right, beforehand.
Oh yeah. We stayed quiet on that one. And a banger of a goal. Shout out to Calafiori.
Of a cross.
He meant it too.
Of a cross.
Nah, he meant it. I'm sorry. I think he did.
Yeah.
I don't know, because as a player, if you're kicking on their inside of the foot, you're trying to bend it. Like if he was trying to kick it there, like I think the way you would kick it, like a knuckle puck or a knuckleball, sorry. And he kind of did it like a finesse. He finessed it inside his foot.
He looked right at the goal after he kicked it, though. I don't know.
Well, yeah, because that's where it went.
But to get back on topic, there needs to be more accountability for refs.
Absolutely.
Like, I think that they should have to do a press conference after the game, the way that players and coaches do.
Wow.
And also, just I don't understand why, in the age of all these cameras and angles that we have, why it's the same in every sport. There needs to be like immediate communication with the ref and be like, yo, that was a bad call, bring it back. There's no reason why we can't do it. With we just talked about it before we started recording, like the Vicario handball. I'm not trying to discuss whether it was a handball or if it was a red card or whatever. Why can't they give the free kick and the yellow card outside the box? Why can't they give a yellow card retroactively? I know it could potentially turn into football where they're American football where they're stopping the game every like minute to look at things.
Yeah, for real.
But when things are so blatantly wrong and like people are yelling at their TVs and tweeting all this stuff, like why can't they just get it right? I mean, they have the technology to literally just phone into the ref and be like, yo, that was the wrong call, bring it back. Maybe have some sort of time restraint or something like that. But every call, ball out of bounds, everything that can be like subjective that we can see on like camera or objective rather via camera calls, they should be able to bring back and change. And maybe some sort of time limit to bring it back, but or to keep it from getting out of hand. But it's ridiculous that we have the technology to see the correct call and we do not call it.
Yeah, 100%. And especially my thing is when the margins are so close, where every game matters, especially with these two guys. Like, no, I'm not trying to take anything from Liverpool, anything from Tottenham. But right now, the two big dogs right now are Arsenal and Man City at the moment. Things can change.
Does the
Like
table
Eddie said,
reflect that?
you're right. 100%. Mic drop. You're right. But honestly, for us, especially losing the league and the margins that we lose it, not to put it all on the refs, of course, Arsenal players need to know better, right? Don't kick the ball, like don't push somebody, don't, right? I understand all of that. But with the inconsistency and like you said, not being able to go back and review something, not being able to, hey, you made the wrong decision. It's almost like they're too prideful to admit guilt. And that's also, you make a good point. Put them on the spotlight at the end of the match. Hey, why'd you make this call? What led you to make this call, and to where they next time it happens, they're not necessarily so quick to make a call or pull a yellow or pull any sort of card on them. Hey, you can still call a foul on Trossard there and not affect the whole dynamic of the game. And that's where it's one of those things where it's definitely frustrating as a fan. And I know I'm an Arsenal fan, so I know I sound butthurt, which I kind of am. But even then, I'm watching other games and other decisions that aren't given, and similar players, similar dives, similar kicks, similar everything, and they're not giving yellow. So I just hope that, the Premier League starts to look into that and become a little bit more consistent.
But whether it's inconsistency, incompetence, malicious intent by like trying to influence results, or they're just getting like the call, like it's either they're doing it on purpose or they're just really bad. And either way, they need to take a look in the mirror.
Yeah. 100%.
I will say though, it's a little fishy when granted the play was a foul, but when your head coach leans down and grabs the ball when it's still in play, I will say that's pretty unfair of someone to do. I don't know if I've ever seen a coach physically grab a ball while it's still on the field, like Mr. Arteta did in the North London Derby. But, I'm just saying, you guys do kind of put this the world is against us type thing, cry, 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 a little bit with the just your aura about things and how you guys are you're meant to win the league. And you kind of, I don't know, you guys have this say about you guys where you like, we have to win the league because we deserve it.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, so did Liverpool when they had 92 to 94 points or something, and they still didn't win it.
96, 97.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm just saying, go out
Yeah.
and do it and earn your respect.
I think you
failed.
also need to be grateful sometimes for the calls that you do get. So
You get a good call.
I just completely shat on the refs for a long time. That was a big rant, but at the same time, you do have to try to look at it as unbiased as possible. When you like, sometimes you do get a call your way, and you just gotta be grateful for that.
True.
Maybe some
keep
a tally. I'm sure there's fans.
We shouldn't have
I've seen a stat where it was like VAR decisions, wrong VAR decisions, or something like that. I'd like to see the season's still early. You're gonna get a game that you shouldn't win. You're gonna get 3 points you shouldn't get. Hopefully it balances out, but sometimes it feels like when you're going against City, it never balances out in your favor.
Yeah, exactly. But no, 100%, definitely agree with you guys there. Before we close, I'm going to ask you guys, Liverpool West Ham this week. What are you thinking as far as a result? You did allude to rotation. Is this a game you want to see heavy rotation? And then you got Wolves and Liverpool. I want you to also hit on that.
Yeah. I don't even know if we can rotate. We can in the attack. We've got 6 healthy attackers. Jota did not play. I'm gonna have to look into that to see if he had some sort of injury. I don't think he did, but we've got 6-ish healthy attackers. So I don't mind any rotation there. Chiesa should probably start over Salah. I think that would be good to see his full debut. In the midfield where we need the rotation, yes, you want your 2 or 3 midfielders to play the whole game and play 90 minutes. That's great, but you don't want to do it every single game. So Endo did not make the bench against Bournemouth, so I don't know what's going on there. And I already said Morton and Neoni haven't made the bench either. Curtis Jones will probably get a start. I would love to see more rotation. We'll probably see Connor Bradley start. Maybe Samikas at left back. He also started against AC Milan as well. Quanta should get a game, but yeah, where I would like to see the most rotation is the midfield, and I just don't know if we can do it, unfortunately. And I wouldn't really mind a loss, as bad as that sounds, but the Carabao Cup is just, we don't live in England. It's hard to really get behind those domestic competitions. The FA Cup, once you're in the final, you want to win. Once you're in the late rounds, you definitely want to win. But I definitely would rather prioritize the league and Champions League this year 100%. Of course, on game day, I'm gonna want to win when I'm watching the game. But I hope that we can just get out of there injury free and see some minutes from some guys that haven't really got too many minutes. As far as the Wolves game's concerned on the weekend afterwards, just keeping consistent. That's a game we should get 3 points. Another clean sheet would be really nice. We still have the least goals conceded in the league, which is surprising. And also, just shows what the transition from slot to Klopp or Klopp to slot has been in terms of being more solid at the back and conceding less chances. So, Wolves have a dangerous striker in Cunha. He could easily get on the board, but it should be 3 points for us, and Salah might be getting back on the score sheet.
Hey, I like that. Mr. Andrew, Spurs Europa.
Yeah.
You got, how do you say it, Quarterback? And you got United. You got United on Sunday. Talk
All
about
right. So obviously, players that don't play is I know for certain for 2. I mean, obviously Sergio is not going to play anyway. He hasn't made a single minute. No, not a single minute on left back. So that means it's going to go Destiny because there's going to be no Spence. He is also not registered for Europa. So probably going to be a pretty strong lineup. We'll see if he drops Kuti or Mickey. I'm not certain who's going to drop. I think one of them will play, but last time we didn't. We had Ben and Dragusin playing, so we'll see on their rotation. It should be an easy game, but hey, you never know on those mid games.
Is it away or home?
I believe we're away. I'm pretty certain we're away.
Andrew, let me ask
Azerbaijan. That's a pretty.
I mean, I get it, trip. But we want to be the big dogs like we should be. We need to keep winning, and we need to win the games that we should. And maybe it's okay to lose the games that we should as well, as long as we're winning the games that we need to be winning. This isn't. You got to win this game. I mean, quarterback.
I was gonna ask you. Do you give it? I know obviously Europa. I mean, for Arsenal fans, it meant a lot for a lot of years. In your
my friend, we haven't won anything. We need to win every game until we win something, and then we can take a game off.
That's true. Do you prioritize top 4 though? That was going to be my question, or you go for both?
We unfortunately have been crying out for a trophy. That's what they tell Ange. Win a trophy. We'll be fine whatever position we land in league, because the league is unwinnable right now. There's no way a Tottenham team is going to win the league. You heard it here first. There's no way it's happening this year. Sorry, guys.
Wow. Bold.
But, it's winning something. We need to win anything. And, before the season started, Tottenham was the best favorite team to win Europa. Right now, before the Champions League teams get in there, because then anything can really happen. So we'll see. We need to make it far. We need to make it the quarterfinals and semifinals, probably. But whatever.
Yeah, no, 100%. Is there anything else you guys?
Real
Yeah,
quick,
please.
did I see that Sonny scored his first ever goal for Tottenham against Karabag in their Europa League?
Oh, wow. So that's actually funny because I was talking about the Rabona as well that happened that game. Eric Lamella's
There, Lamella.
Rabona, he also scored in that
Yeah,
game too. That's crazy.
A good fun.
Um,
I like that.
wow, that is some real big history because that almost happened 10 years ago. It's like almost like 8 years ago now. Anyway,
that's crazy how long Son has been at your team and
literally
scoring goals. And I always said
assisting
that, Son at Liverpool in that era would have been,
dirty,
it would have been disgusting. I was upset that we didn't get him in that window, but we did get Mane, I believe the same window, 14 or
literally.
15, 16 or 16, 17, one of those 2 years. But either way, I think, Son at Liverpool in that era would have been more so Harry Kane. I think
Of
Mane, Harry Kane,
course.
Salah, we
Uh,
would have won treble after treble.
That's sick. That's crazy.
no
Well,
crap. Anyone with Harry would probably win besides Tottenham.
that's true. Guys, don't forget, like, subscribe, leave a comment. Of course, follow these guys on their social media platforms, which I'll probably link below. But yeah, thank you guys again.
Uh,
Hopefully you guys get some results this week, and hopefully we do as well. Peace.